Hey, yo, what's going on? It's your boy, man, in the wild. Just going through this flat Earth stuff because some people I know, who like to make mention, constantly make mention of, the Earth being a ball, space travel, and flat Earthers can't, explain this and all this other type stuff. And first off, it's funny to me how people get put into categories. First off, I mean that's a way to divide, by calling somebody flat earther, globers, and all the other type shit, black, white, like you're putting somebody in categories, to cause an automatic division, and then, when people keep going, it's kind of like, you know, this is actually kind of dumb. And then, um, two, the, the level of distance, or should I say, the distance between, the two categories, like when you go to the extremes, is very far, and very fucked up, especially because at these extremes, you have a certain level of, I don't know, childish, childish stupidity, because when you're at one extreme with the other, a certain shit, that means you can't really see shit. So your mind ain't really built a certain way. So you're like a child, so I don't know. Seeing these videos that came up, man, and it kind of hit me a little bit. So we're going to see where this shit goes and how they go.
Picture of the Earth is CGI. This was the owner of NASA, Werner von Braun, and on his grave he has Psalms 19:1, which is a Bible verse. The Bible verse is, "The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork." Why would the owner of NASA have this on his grave? Alongside of that, NASA in Hebrew means to deceive, beguiled. On top of that, look at what happens when I type in flat earth backwards into Google. NASA is the first one that comes up.
All right, so like NASA, like how they talk about NASA, right? Going to these different places. And when people like me disagree with what they've been told, it's like the biggest part to overcome with the shit is, the question is, why would they lie? Like, these are respected astronauts, these are respected people. They've been telling the same story for years. Why would they lie about that? That doesn't make any sense. Right? It always comes back to that type of shit. So if you're rooted, right? If you're rooted in, you're a liar. Right? And that shit's real. You just do a casual search of that and you'll find that that's true. You know what I'm saying? That's true. NASA is literally means to deceive. And so here you go, telling people that they're going to space, telling people, there's different planets, and we're spinning, and it's all of this control chaos going on, right? When, as you see it started, every picture of the Earth is CGI. It's not even up for debate. The shit's not fucking real. If a motherfucker has to show you a computer generated photo to prove something to you, that shit don't, like, let somebody be on trial in court and all this other shit, and people want photo proofs of this and that, and you come in with some CGI shit. Do you think that shit is gonna pass? That shit is gonna fly? The hell, the fuck no. But we as people let that shit just go. Fuck out of here, man.
On top of that, look at what happens when I type in flat earth backwards into Google. NASA is the first one that comes up.
And so another way, because this was actually one of the first ways, first things I started to look at, when it came to, the earth being flat. Because I mean, I believe what I was told, what I'm saying? And then you start hearing information, you start looking shit up, and, as the shit don't make sense, you just keep going that way. So, flight plans, flight paths. I mean, this is gonna show you a little montage of the shit. Little buddy's gonna come on later explaining some shit, and it's just, I mean, when shit doesn't make sense, right? When shit doesn't make sense the way that you're being told it's supposed to make as the sense, right? You're being told A, you clearly see motherfucking M over here, but you're being told, nah, this is A. But the arcs kind of look the same, but there's more of them over there without a line in the middle. No, that's what you're looking at. That's how life works. And you just go along with it because the people who are telling you are supposed to have importance. They're supposed to have a certain status. You know what I'm saying? And you'll believe the status over a fact.
This flight from Taiwan to Los Angeles, there's an emergency along the way and needed to land the plane as quickly as possible. Why in the world would they land all the way up there in Alaska? If we are on a supposed globe, Hawaii is just right there. Oh, I get it now. Taiwan to Los Angeles, Alaska is right on the way. This flight from Argentina to India, emergency happened along the way, so they stopped all the way up in Amsterdam. Like, why didn't they go straight across? Oh wait, they did. Argentina to India, Amsterdam is along the way. Now this one will really make you scratch your head. This flight from Auckland to Peru, emergency happened along the way, so they landed in Los Angeles, passing the equator. Like, why would you pass the equator when you could have just went straight across? Makes sense. Auckland to Peru, Los Angeles is along the way. Guys, I could do this all day. Flight Pass proves
So like, I mean, you can do this shit all day. And it's crazy that low key I had done this all day. You type in, any of those like Australia type routes, and it's amazing how many of them will go through a Europe. You know what I'm saying? Will go through, the what is it, the Middle East or some shit. When it's like that path, like it don't really make sense. It doesn't make sense, fuel wise. It doesn't make sense direction wise, because like, I mean, where the fuck are you really going, and how, like, the shit just don't make sense. I don't give a damn what you try to explain to me as far as air traffic control. When things are not economically correct within a business, you have to question certain shit. And these routes definitely are questionable, to say the least. But that's just one of the things that, one of the elements that you can look at and see that you know, the pattern doth exist that this is some bullshit. You know, we don't live on a water ball. Like, even the smallest fucking science test can show you don't live on no fucking water ball. Understand that if gravity was so fucking strong how they say it is, right? You wouldn't even be able to lift your damn foot off the ground. If you can bend something that forms so freely as water, attach it to a ball that's spinning with curvatures and all of this shit, attach that shit so strong, you can lift your foot up off of that? The fuck out of here.
Earth is flat. But send this to somebody that needs to see this. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments about these flight paths. But if you haven't followed me, follow me so you never miss a video. Like always, God bless. Peace.
Antarctica, which is in the very south, is an ice wall that's around all of the continents. So instead of us being able to go around the world, it's all enclosed by Antarctica's ice wall. So the United Nations map is actually the flat Earth map model. They have actual borders around this, and then you see all the continents spread out. So if this was a globe, they spread it out like this. So,
and I don't know, I'm starting to see a little pattern develop with a hole being right around the what do you want to call it, Australia. Starting to see a pattern, but yeah, I'm gonna get back to that.
So that's the model that they believe in. There's an Arctic ice wall around it. And one reason this gets perpetuated and people think it's valid to think Antarctica is the barrier is because in the late 50s, there was a treaty signed by almost all the major countries of power to not let anybody go into Antarctica. So if you try to get close to Antarctica, they're going to tell you, get the hell out of here. You could go on little explorations of it, but nothing without a bunch of people monitoring you, right? And planes don't fly over it. All flight patterns take you away from Antarctica. No one's flying directly over it. They always take a weird route. Like, there was an airplane that was going from the Philippines to Los Angeles, which should be a straight route, Philippines to Los Angeles. Mid-flight, a woman, her water broke. So they had to make emergency landing. They could have either just turned around or kept going to Los Angeles. Somehow they ended up in Alaska. So the flight plan to get them from Philippines to Alaska, if you put it on a flat Earth map, it's a straight line from the Philippines to Alaska. But when you put it on a globe, it makes no sense.
See, like shit like that. You can't dispute things like that, right? It's certain facts of life, you know, that cannot be argued. You know, now of course the people who have given you the science of the ball Earth are the ones in control of science. You know, they're the ones who are able to tell you what science is. You know, so of course, if a motherfucker is trying to tell you what science is and they're a deceiver, they can tell you anything they want to get you to believe this bullshit. And the most things that they use to promote the ball Earth is cinema. You know, you hear Neil deGrasse Tyson punk ass all the time talking about movies getting it accurate and this movie didn't do it right or this movie got it right and all this other shit, but you're not showing us actual shit that exists within real life. You know, because I don't know if the videos will be on the channel this is going to get uploaded on or a different one, but there's clearly videos that show that drones can't fly in a motherfucking vacuum chamber. You understand? Flies can't fly in a fucking vacuum chamber. Right? You can't propel shit. You can't direct shit. You're just sitting there stuck in a fucking circle, just spinning around. So you can't travel in space. Even as they've defined it. You know, but yet and still, motherfuckers are defending this shit to the, what do you want to call it? Around the earth for them. But the saying is to the ends of the earth. Because them motherfuckers knew.
Y'all don't find it weird that all of the space junk lines up right there? Like, even like the satellites and everything that's supposed to be floating in space, right? But they all fall in that specific area. Even when they're shooting off rockets. Bro, do y'all understand what I'm saying right now? Just look at it, cousin. Listen, all of that shit goes right around there.
So part of my little what you want to call it, my thoughts about the shit whenever this came up, because I never really actually thought about this aspect of things. But the fact that if everything ends up down here, right, and the UN logo has the barrier around the flat earth, but that part is open down there, that's where the, what do you want to call it? The planes come in as far as the infinite plane aspect of, I'll see, not gonna work. Hold on. All right, here it go.
They're shooting off rockets. Bro, do y'all understand what's going on? What I'm saying right now? Just look at it, cousin. Listen, all of that shit goes right around there. Isn't that like just a little questionable? I find it funny when they shoot nukes into the sky, it goes straight up, and when they shoot rockets that's supposed to go to space, they curve.
The Earth might be bigger than we thought.
All right, so there. Because even that right there had, clearly, they're open, to the outer space that they, that's real, that's more plausible. Because, this shit is way more plausible than, going to different planets and shooting rockets and shit, talking about millions of light years away and all of this other shit. Like, this definitely seems more plausible if motherfuckers want to tell me that there's an outer space out here. Because I know for a fact, we'd be arrogant to believe that we were alone. And so yeah, that was that. Let me see what they say about this shit.
The Earth might be bigger than we thought. For years, people have debated over the shape of the Earth, if it is round or flat. But what if the Earth had more than just 7 continents, and Antarctica is a giant ice wall that kept us from seeing the rest of the continents? What if, once you made it past the ice wall, you'll find 20 other continents that are hidden from us? And what if there was a map that showed this? There are theories that these continents contain prehistoric animals, aliens, and advanced civilizations, and that the 7 continents that we are living in is actually a giant farm or business owned by a small handful of families that make up the filthy rich past the ice wall. That is why.
Why does it look like a big ass bullet?
All right, so I think it's funny that it ends on that about why that, looking like a big ass bullet. Because to believe that we're alone is arrogant, right? Especially with, how advanced we are as people, and how much we've been lied to by the people in control. There has to leave like some type of room for, there's something beyond, there really is something beyond us, but it's not at all what you guys are telling us. But, whatever it is, what it is, you just gotta understand that when it comes to this flat earth, ball earth shit, like, just look at what your eyes see, look at what you feel, like, I don't give a damn. Like, movement is movement, right? And for you to be sitting here spinning, like, because to my knowledge, like, most of us, I would say, have been to, your local carnivals and all the other shit when they got that spinning, that rotating spaceship type shit, and when that motherfucker starts rotating, you get sucked back. You get pushed back, right? That shit don't spin and you get pushed into the middle. And that's just something extremely simple, that doesn't take, a child can figure that shit out. So when something spins, you fly off that motherfucker. But since they've created science, they create all the scientific, reasoning as to why, that would cause, like why the spin and the rotation right, would actually cause your feet to stay still and for you to move freely, because there's these numbers over here and these made up fucking terms and words and situations over there, right? Allow you to be able to do that. And like, it's literally that simple. But because they have a title, but because they have a backing, because they have, a very strong name and all of that, you just gonna believe the shit, even though it's not what you see. That's a key component in narcissistic abuse. That gaslighting shit, and you as the victim believing that shit, even though, you know what it is. So that creates a chemical imbalance and it fucks your mind up by believing that dumb shit. Your mind, you become dumb when you believe dumb shit. When you make dumb shit make sense, when you go out of your way to go against what your gut is really telling you about something. That's what makes you dumb. That's the dumbed down process in full effect. And so hold on. He said, but when he said something about that being a rocket, right? Somebody said it, and I believe it. When it comes down to like the I don't know, the firmament that we do have, that encloses us or whatever it is up top, right? I do believe that they have tried to get out, shot rockets up, been unsuccessful, but that could potentially be where diamonds come from. Because they've been trying to shatter that motherfucker, it don't happen, but then all, what are the remnants? Because only diamonds can cut themselves. They like the strongest materials and all that shit. Extremely plausible, because, I know we're not getting out this bitch, and there's something preventing us, and since, logic would tell you that, whenever there's something that's not in the way, you can go freely, and when something's in the way, you can't go freely, so there has to be some type of enclosure, that is obviously a sort of see-through to some extent, because it changes colors and, all of the other shit goes on, so yeah, just something to think about, man, because that shit's kind of weird. But yeah, I did, because I did the searches, and I typed in that flat earth backwards, and I'll be damned, like, what the fuck? Y'all niggas really, like, how and why? Like, that's weird. Like, that's weird. Right, that's weird. And then NASA and, good. It's to deceive. And so if your root, if your name, is embedded in a language that's very symbolic, and this is the name you choose, this was done on purpose. They have to tell you what they do. Otherwise, what's the point? Like I said, when it comes to that, this is a narcissistic relationship that we have with our government, with our leaders, because we're being gaslit to oblivion. And we just sit there and, you have your different options and all of this shit. And the best option is to go no contact. Go no contact and err on the side of believing the exact opposite of what these motherfuckers tell you. Because they are pathological liars. Pathological. We can't even, it's just beyond how, I don't know how plentiful the deception is. in every single arena, every single area that's touched in life. These motherfuckers find a way to deceive. And one of the biggest ways is to get you to believe that you live on a ball, on a spinning water ball. That's one of the biggest ways to make sure that you remain dumb, that you remain under control, and you'll be, you will be one who is not a threat. Because that's the whole point of the game, is to make the least amount of threats possible, as they embark upon the bullshit. So yeah, as always, man, this shit is what it is. And hold on, let me see. Cause yeah, cause somebody made mention, my bad. Somebody had made mention that that they've put the border around the UN logo, and that's the ice wall. But as you see, that there's that big gap, and that's ironically where the missile launches go and all of that type of shit. So yeah, it missed me with all this bullshit, man. Missed me with all this bullshit. Yeah. Water finds its level, and it can't find a level around a ball. So yeah, that bar of bullshit is confirmed.